What were they doing?
But, what'd you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
It all started with a dream. Gabby Petito, a 22-year-old from Blue Point, New York, had a deep love for travel. She loved the idea of seeing the world, and in the summer of 2021, she set out on what she thought would be the adventure of a lifetime. Gabby and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, embarked on a cross-country road trip in their white van, documenting their journey on social media as they explored national parks and scenic spots.
I love the van.
Gabby was an aspiring influencer, sharing her experiences on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Her social media was filled with stunning photos of her travels, picturesque landscapes, hikes, and moments of joy. To her followers, Gabby was living the dream. But behind the scenes, there were challenges no one could see. As Gabby and Brian traveled through Wyoming, things seemed to take a turn. They had stopped at several national parks, including Grand Teton National Park, where Gabby was last seen. Friends and family had noticed a change in Gabby's usual vibrant and happy demeanor. Her last Instagram post on August 25th, 2021, showed a photo of her and Brian in front of the spread of nature's beauty. But it was the last update fans and friends saw of her online. Family and friends began to notice that Gabby had stopped responding to messages. Her phone calls were no longer coming through, and her social media accounts fell silent. At first, her family wasn't sure what was happening. Could it have just been a signal issue, or maybe Gabby needed space? But as days passed and the silence continued, concern grew into fear. By the time Gabby's family started to panic, something was terribly wrong. On August 12th, 2021, just days before her disappearance, a 911 call was made. It was from a witness who had reported seeing an argument between Gabby and Brian at a gas station. The call was disturbing, hinting at tension in the couple's relationship, but it was not enough at the time to alert authorities to something worse. Gabby was officially reported missing on September 11th, 2021, after her parents received no word from her. They were frantic. Gabby's mother, Nicole Schmidt, took to social media, pleading for anyone with information about her daughter to come forward. The family had no idea where Gabby was or what had happened. Then came the shocking revelation. Brian Laundrie, Gabby's fiancé, returned to his parents' home in Northport, Florida on September 1st, 2021, without Gabby. He came back in the van they had been traveling in, but Gabby was nowhere to be found. At the time, Brian refused to speak to authorities about what had happened, invoking his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. The case took a strange twist as Brian's behavior became more and more suspicious. The public couldn't make sense of it. Why was he not helping with the search? Why didn't he seem worried about Gabby? People grew suspicious and social media began to explode with theories, anger, and questions. Still, Gabby's family clung to hope that their daughter would be found alive. But each passing day made it harder to believe that would happen. The nation was now involved in the search for Gabby Petito. Media outlets picked up on the story, and search efforts intensified. Volunteers and search teams scoured the areas where Gabby and Brian had last been. Local authorities in Wyoming launched their own investigation, but it wasn't until September 19th, 2021, that the worst fears were realized. Gabby's remains were discovered in a remote area of Grand Teton National Park. The news of her death sent shockwaves across the country. It was a moment of disbelief, followed by intense grief. The world had watched Gabby's story unfold, and now it had come to a tragic conclusion. The search for Gabby had ended, but a new question emerged. Who was responsible for her death? As the investigation continued, more information began to surface. Brian Laundrie was named as a person of interest in Gabby's death, but he had vanished. Authorities soon discovered that Brian had left his parents' home on September 14th, 2021, and was nowhere to be found. A massive manhunt ensued, with law enforcement agencies across the country looking for him. Brian was believed to have been in the Carlton Reserve, a vast swampy area in Florida, but he was nowhere to be found. For weeks, the search for him continued, but it seemed like every lead ended in a dead end. On September 21st, 2021, the Teton County Coroner's Office confirmed that Gabby's cause of death was homicide by blunt force trauma. It was a heartbreaking confirmation that Gabby had been murdered, and the questions surrounding her death only grew. Was Brian responsible? What had really happened during that road trip? The search for Brian Laundrie stretched on until October 20th, 2021, when human remains were discovered in the Carlton Reserve. Dental records confirmed the remains were Brian's, but there was still much to uncover. His cause of death was later ruled as suicide, but the mystery surrounding his involvement in Gabby's death remained unresolved in a legal sense. Even after Brian's death, the investigation into Gabby's murder continued. Investigators pieced together details about Gabby's final moments, including an emotional 911 call from a witness who had seen Brian and Gabby involved in a physical altercation. The police released body cam footage from an incident earlier in the road trip, where Gabby appeared visibly upset and talked about the tensions between her and Brian.
Some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I am like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an all-organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That's my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. Just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like a, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of
told me
your OCD?
Told me I needed to calm down. Yeah.
Though Brian's death meant he would never stand trial, the case left many questions unanswered. Some believed that he had acted alone, while others pointed to his family's possible involvement in protecting him during the investigation. The public's anger remained, as many demanded justice for Gabby and accountability for those who might have known what happened. Gabby's story sparked widespread conversations about domestic violence, mental health, and the need for more awareness and resources for those experiencing abuse. Her family became advocates for the Missing Persons Act and sought to ensure that cases like Gabby's received the attention they deserve. While Gabby's life was tragically cut short, her legacy continues through the awareness raised by her case. Thousands of people across the country took to social media to advocate for justice and to support her family. Her case reminded the world that we need to look out for one another, speak up when we see something wrong, and always take missing person cases seriously. The story of Gabby Petito is a tragic reminder of how quickly things can go wrong and how important it is to cherish our loved ones. As we remember Gabby, we honor her memory by speaking out against domestic violence, supporting those in need, and ensuring that no one is ever forgotten. If you found this story important, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on cases like this. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.